I'm Adele Botha. I'm a primary researcher at the CSIR. CSIR is a science council in South Africa, and I belong to the ICT unit called Meraka. Meraka means Common Grazing Ground. We're actually such a nice mix of people in the consortium in that to enable these grid computing interactions, one would actually need to look at the grid computing itself as an object and then the effective use of it in education. So some of our members are looking at grid computing and setting up this grid computing. For example, one consortium members in Cairo and in China, as well as in East Africa. They're looking at specifically setting up grid computing infrastructure and utilizing that in ways. Some of our partners in the UK are looking at using grid computing specifically and the new pedagogies and ways in which it can be used, what needs to be put into place to make it meaningful for education. And then we have a collaboration between Stanford in the USA and China, collaborating around water quality between two schools, and hopefully they are putting together everything that we've been learning from the other consortiums. So because it's a new way of doing new things, there's so much scope to explore and to put forward some learning. And not only do we want to learn what there is about best practice and new and innovative ways of doing it, but we want to try and get as many people aboard as what we possibly can and scale it in meaningful ways so that not only the consortium and the Catalyst benefit from it, but many more institutions. There's a perception that education lags behind industry, and this consortium specifically puts education ahead of industry or on equal par to industry, using technologies that are at the cutting edge of technology as well as education to use this and power up students' contributions and teacher interactions to a level that is on par with anything in the world. So what is nice about it is I think that we are working at the cutting edge of things, and the horizon is the sky's the limit. Cloud computing and grid computing very much works with channel agnostic access to content and services, and that you're not limited by the technology that you own or the place where you are. You're only limited by the will and the collaboration opportunities, and to make those collaboration opportunities available and to inspire people, that is very easy. So children are inspired by working with each other, and they are naturally curious to know what's going on, and they naturally want to contribute and make a better world. So to put those things together, I think my passion would lie in getting technology and getting opportunities to people independent of their technology, which means that your back computing needs to be so much more scaled up. I think when you step back and you look at a type of a global collaboration through channel agnostic means, it means that you can combine real needs with real services. For example, often students think that in their small world what they know is not significant, and yet it is what they do know is significant to someone else. And collaboratively, it's like pointillism, that each child can contribute this little dot, but all the little dots together make a beautiful picture of what life may look like. And we've experienced this in numbers of ways in which we've created the means for children to collaborate and children to have access to content and services that they have previously not had, and the way in which it's opened up visions and created sensitivity for I'm not alone, I'm not an island, I'm not struggling through my own problems on my own. There are people that are like me, and there are people that can help me. And I think that opening up of windows for children often creates a broader perspective on life. And I've seen this in many instances where children have only a cell phone to communicate, and they're connecting to the Wikipedia, and suddenly the combined knowledge of the world is in a child in Melindy's hands.